are turning the fourth quarter into a clinic on the passing game. The stadium turf was a laboratory for Professor Bill Walsh and his graduate assistants, Montana, Clark, Tyler, Craig, and Freddie Solomon. That group, with the notable addition of rookie Jerry Rice, returns intact for today's rematch. The Redskins were able to make roughly the same claim until 13 days ago. Oh, their destiny is in their own hands. I'm Pat Summerall. With me is John Madden. As we talked to Jay Schrader yesterday, the new Redskin quarterback, I was amazed at his confidence. You think that'll keep up?
I think he had confidence yesterday, and when he gets out there and sees this 49er defense, I think that's going to be the big thing, because the 49ers feel that Jay Schrader has yet to be rushed. I mean, a big pass rush against him, and they said no one has given it to him yet, but we're going to give it to him today. We'll be the test of Jay Schrader.
I was also amazed when we visited with the 49ers at what appeared to be a lack of confidence on their part.
Well, I think any time that you lose 5 games after you had gone 15-1 and you were the champions a year before, it's tough to have a lot of confidence. Now, one thing that the 49ers always did so well is Bill Walsh would script the first 25 plays. Then the 49ers would come out and go down the field. Boom, 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 boom. Those first couple of drives, they'd get ahead and then just play the rest of the game. They haven't done that well this year. That's what they want today. They hope the script works, because the Redskins are the type of team that they have to jump on right now.
It is, I guess the only way to describe the weather is just simply miserable. It's cold and damp, and a light drizzle has been falling almost all day and all day yesterday. In fact, the 49ers didn't even practice yesterday. The conditions, the temperature 49 degrees, it certainly doesn't seem that warm. Humidity 96%, and the forecast is for it to continue with the light drizzle. Steve Cox, number 12, one of the last of the straightaway kickers, will get things started for the Redskins. And Carl Monroe and Derek Harmon are back deep for the 49ers. He's going at it from an angle. It is Carl Monroe at about the 4. Monroe breaks out of the pack. He's still on his feet. Monroe could go. Steve Cox is chasing, but he's not going to catch him. There are 5 San Francisco blockers. 96 yards, 95, call it for Carl Monroe. What a way to get it started.
When you start like that, Pat, you don't have to worry about the script. They came out there and said, the heck with the script. Let's have that first play be a 95-yard touchdown. Watch Carl Monroe. Now what you do is you start up the middle. That brings all the coverage guys into the middle. Then when you bounce outside, if you can force another missed tackle, then you can cut. The only thing left is the kicker. Steve Cox didn't have a chance at Monroe, and he takes the opening kickoff all the way in.
And Carl Monroe took that ball with him to the sideline. That one will go in the trophy case. Warshing, with Matt Cavanaugh holding, makes it 7-0. Special teams did it for the Redskins last week in the win over Pittsburgh. They brought the opening kickoff back. Ken Jenkins did, down to the Steeler 3, and they got in.
There's nothing that deflates a home team more than the visiting team starting off with a big kickoff return. I remember once in Oakland, we played the Miami Dolphins, and we were all excited. The fans were going. They had the handkerchiefs out and everything, and the Dolphins took the opening kickoff return all the way. Luckily, we came back to beat them.
Didn't quite get settled. Carl Monroe played collegiately at Utah. Wershing has fake a reverse, and Jenkins hammers up the field. Jenkins almost broke it. We almost had a duplicate. A 31-yard return by number 31.
Watch Jenkins here. He fakes to Monty Coleman, the linebacker. He faked to him. Now that held the right side of the 49er coverage. They got back. They darn near got to the kicker Worship. That's what Jenkins was hoping. You know, Monroe does it. We'll go in and do it.
He almost did. We'll check the offensive lineups in just a minute. That's Art Monk in motion. Jay Slater back to throw and quickly out to Monk. Slips through his hands, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. The Redskin offensive backs and receivers. Schrader, the quarterback. Riggins, the lone setback. Gary Clark and Art Monk, the wide receivers. And the two tight ends, Clint Didier and Donnie Warren. Up front, the Hogs are almost all back together. Jacoby Grimm, Rick Donnelly at center, Ken Huff and Mark May at right tackle. Only Bostic is missing, and he can play. Clark is out wide to the left with Monk inside, and Schrader comes out of the pocket. For Didier, incomplete. The 49er lineup. At least that will be the way they'll begin. Stover, Michael Carter, the nose tackle, and Dwayne Board, the right defensive end. The linebackers, Shell Ellison, Walter, and Keena Turner. And the secondary, Hicks, Wright, Williamson, and Ronnie Lott, now a full-time safety man.
And this is the situation the 49ers were talking about yesterday, trying to get Jay Schrader in this position, where they put all their pass rushes in and their defensive back.
They have 5 men down up on the line of scrimmage. Now the two safety men. Here's the pressure that they were talking about. It was Fuller first there. Tuiasa Sissoko was the second man there. A loss of 10.
Well, that's the thing that they wanted to show him. Show him a big pass rush on that 3rd and long. Watch it here now. Here's the guy that's going to get here, Fuller. But you see they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen. Here's one here. They bring them. They're bringing 8 on him. Now watch the outside guy, Fuller, starts outside, comes inside. No one picks him up, and he gets to Jay Schrader before he had a chance.
Cox, the punter. Graham McLemore signals fair catch. I don't know if he touched it or not. The Redskins are saying he did, but the officials say he didn't. 33-yard punt by Cox. McLemore couldn't handle it.
Here's McLemore with a fair catch. If the ball hits McLemore, then it would be the Redskins' ball.
Like it hit him on the foot.
It looked like it hit his right foot, and that's what the Redskins were complaining about. They said it hit his right foot. That looked like it missed his right foot.
Depends on the angle. You might. Handoff is to Roger Craig. He breaks away almost. Rich Malott tripped him up. Montana, the quarterback. Tyler and Craig, the runners. Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon start as the wide receivers. Up front, it's Paris. John Ayers starting at left guard. Randy Cross moves to center, and Guy McIntyre comes in at right guard. Von Horst and Russ Francis is the tight end. Dwight Clark split out wide to the right. Solomon to the left. They give to Tyler. And Tyler lunges for what appears to be close to a 49er first down. Washington defense, 4 men up front. Man, Butts, Dean Hamill, and Dexter Manley. 3 linebackers, Kaufman, Olkowitz in the middle, Rich Malott. And the secondary, Green and Dean, the corners, Raphael Cherry and Curtis Jordan, the 2 safeties. First down, Montana drops. Outside Craig. They really like that. Craig, who had 70 receptions coming in, picks up another one. Mel Kaufman and Vernon Dean brought him down. A gain of 6. That's the final score. Denver 31-23 over Pittsburgh. Cincinnati over Houston, 45-27. Cincinnati in good shape. Philadelphia 23, Minnesota 21. Eagles aren't out of it yet. Montana back on second down. They intended for Jerry Rice, incomplete. Darrell Green, the defender. New England had a tough time, but they beat Indianapolis 38-31. That ties them with the Jets. Cleveland 35, the Giants 33 in the fourth quarter. Less than 2 minutes to go in that game. Both these teams watching that scoreboard would certainly like to be aware of what happens to the Giants. And to Cleveland, as a matter of fact. Tyler goes in motion. Montana quickly goes to pass. Incomplete. Intended for Mike Wilson. For an NFL update, let's take you back to New York and Brett Musburger.
All right, Pat, it is over in Pittsburgh. The Denver Broncos did it. This was the play that sealed it up. And Woodley threw a bad pass. Harden with the interception now. And he gets into the end zone. 31-23, the final. Let's go back to Pat and John.
7-0 in Washington after a 95-yard kickoff return for the 49ers on the game's opener. Runiger hangs it high in the direction of Jenkins and signals fair catch. The ball is down inside the 5 by the 49ers' Jeff Fuller, and more pressure for Jay Schrader. Only a 39-yard punt, but a very effective one.
We're not a company.
But we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge.
We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop.
To perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach.
We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Army.
The Navy.
Before the game that the Rams lost or were losing, because they sure came out on this field fired up.
They sure did. And it paid off in a hurry. John Riggins standing in the end zone. Art Monk in motion. To Monk. And he dropped it. Art Monk didn't practice yesterday or the day before. He had that 24-hour virus that seems to be very much present in the area. And, of course, the ball and the field are wet and cold.
Well, you know, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but Jay Schrader, when you take his top receiver away from him 2 days before the game, and he really doesn't have that much experience or that much work with Monk, and you take it away, it can affect him.
Gillier is put out wide to the right this time. That's Warren that moves in motion. The handoff is to Riggins. He is cut down at about the 6 by Michael Carter.
That's the Redskins' answer to the refrigerator in the backfield. Instead of putting a big offensive or defensive lineman in the backfield, the Redskins put their tight end, Donnie Warren, in the backfield. We can see here's Warren here, usually a tight end. He'll start in motion, come here, and lead Riggins with the ball. So he starts in motion, comes down here to the right, lead, boom, and then Riggins starts in and cuts off him.
Riggins is out, and Griffin is in. Schrader is back in the end zone, throwing through again. Monk is out there. Got it. Dana McLemore back with him, saved the touchdown. Art Monk dropped 2, but didn't drop that one. 53 yards on a pass from Schrader.
Maybe those 2 days off did Art Monk some good. We'll see him. He's a slot guy here. Inside, he just comes up, runs the post. The ball is perfectly thrown right up over his head. There's no way McLemore has a chance to get it. Now watch the pressure again. Tina Turner coming from the outside. Right there, we see Fuller just hit him as he throws the ball. The 49ers tried to put the blitz on again.
This Schrader is a great big guy. He can see a lot of things down that field. He gives to Riggins. Here's the reverse to Monk. Not much there. Monk gets away from one man. Tina Turner finally got him down.
Tina Turner is the outside linebacker on that left side. Now, you hope when you fake the run this way. Watch, when you start to run this way, you hope that linebacker on the other side starts to chase it. When he doesn't, and he waits right there like Turner did, then it's tough to get that reverse, because he could hold it up until all the guys got back.
Second down and 10. The line of scrimmage is the 49er 41. Clark is out wide to the left, and Monk is to the right. Eric Clark complete, but there's a flag down on the play. Or maybe I thought I saw a flag and didn't. A gain of 10. Enough for a first down and no flag, no penalty marker. Eric Wright was the defender. The final score in what was supposed to be, most people thought, a defensive battle. Cleveland 35, the Giants 33.
I'll tell you, the Dallas Cowboys are down in Dallas watching that game or that score, and that puts him in first place by himself.
By a full game. Redskin first down at the 49er 31. Didier the move this time. They give to Riggins. Riggins pounds over the left side for about 3. For an update from the Meadowlands, let's go back to Brent Musburger.
Well, John and Pat, the Giants had a chance to win it. 4 seconds on the clock. Eric Schubert, a 34-yard field goal attempt, but the snap was not good. The holder did not have an opportunity to get it set right. 35-33. Cleveland to the top of the AFC Central. Back to John and Pat.
7-0 here. 49ers return the opening kickoff 95 yards. Griffin has replaced Brigham. 2nd and 7. This is Griffin. And Keith Griffin hammers inside the 25 to about the 23 before Ricky Ellison brings him down. Here's the way the NFC East looks as of the moment. This is up to date. Dallas with a game lead over the Giants, then Washington at 7 and 5. The Eagles still playing, I believe, and St. Louis at 4 and 9. The West, the Rams down 9 and 4, and San Francisco 7 and 5, and with a 7-0 lead here. 3rd and 3 as Jay Schrader looks over the defense. For Monk, just a little too much on it. Eric Wright.
One thing, Jay Schrader is doing a good job of dropping back, getting that ball off, and beating the blitz. Now watch Keener Turner coming at him, right in his face. Schrader was still able to go boom and find Art Monk down there, even though it was incomplete.
Mark Mosley. This will be from 41 yards. He's made out of 5 out of 6 from this distance. That's going to have to hurry to get there. No good. There's a flag back at the line of scrimmage. They might have run into Mosley.
And of course, if they did, if it's against the 49ers, that would be a first down. I think the guy that they're calling is Torrey Nixon. He was the rookie for the 49ers that the Redskins traded in the preseason.
Dick Jorgensen, by the way, is the referee.
And you know what the rule is, of course, if Nixon touched the ball, then you can touch the kicker.
Well, let's see if we can pick up what did happen. Dick Jorgensen.
The ball was running into the kicker by number 20. However, it was pushed into the kicker. Therefore, no running into the kicker. No good. First down.
What they say is that Rich Malott pushed Torrey Nixon or blocked him into the kicker. You see the top of the screen? Right there. See Malott 57. Then you see Nixon there. Malott saying he didn't do it.
And the Twin Towers went down.
The Honda Prelude SI. We haven't
put all the fun at your fingertips, there's a little something for your right foot.
Darrell Green with those quick reactions.
Well, you can see Craig starting to the inside. Now when he bounces out there, you see Neil Okowitz, the middle linebacker, reach his right arm in there. Boom, hit the ball with his right hand, knocked it out, and Darrell Green was on the bottom of the pile.
So the Redskins get a 49er turnover, and they get a first down at the San Francisco 27. Riggins is back in the backfield. Back to throw is Schrader. Check one. It'll be first and goal, Redskins. White Hicks was a defender, a gain of 19. This is a real shot here.
I tell you, I'm impressed with that, the way he got back. Now watch how he finds Clark in here. He's running an in move straight in the middle of the field. He hits it right in front of Lott. That ball went right by number 42, Ronnie Lott, and zipped right into Gary Clark's hand.
First and goal, Redskins from the San Francisco 9. Clark and Monk both split wide to the right. They'll come this way with Riggins. Riggins shuffles to about the 7 or 8. A gain of 2.
Looks like Riggins should have stayed with Joe Jacoby on that one, Pat. Let's see if we can see it again. We're going to see the kind of trade. Both these guys pull. Jacoby comes in here. Now watch Riggins. He'll take a counter step. Boom, get in here. But he leaves Jacoby here. I think had he stayed with Jacoby. Watch Joe Jacoby, the second guy. See him right there. Had he stayed right there with Jacoby, I think he could have hit it out one more hole.
He only got a yard. Then goal from the 8. Schrader sprints out of the pocket. Intended for Clark. Incomplete. Eric Wright, number 21 for the 49ers, right with him.
You have to be impressed with Jay Schrader, the way he drops back, sets up in that pocket, and throws the ball, because the 49ers really are trying to unnerve him. And so far in this first quarter, they haven't done it.
He's a big guy, about 6'5". They say he's lost some weight down to about 214. But he's big, got big arms, big legs.
Yeah, big hands and wrists. And of course, that's the center. That's Rick Donnelly talking about big hands. He has a cast in his left hand, 2 broken bones.
Schrader back. Donnie Warren was the intended receiver at about the 2. Ronnie Lott made the defensive play.
There's Donnie Warren right there. You see Lott's just covering. Warren ran right into him. Then he tried to push off and work to the outside. As he pushed off, that ball was zipped, and he really didn't have a chance to react to it.
So Mark Mosley comes in from 25 yards away this time with Schrader holding. This one. He's out of bounds at about the 20. While we have a second, scores of other games. Fourth quarter, Minnesota with incredible comeback, 28-20. Less than a minute. Cleveland beat the Giants by 2, 35-33. Denver over Pittsburgh, 31-23. Cincinnati, Boomer Esiason had a hot day. Green Bay 21-0 shutout over Tampa Bay in dreadful weather. New England 38-31, and New Orleans upset the Rams 29-3. 7-3 here as Solomon comes in motion. Montana goes back to throw. Redskins were putting on the pressure. Carl Monroe was the intended receiver.
I think that's one of the things that teams are doing to the 49ers more this year is they're pressuring Montana. Instead of dropping off and letting him work those zones, they're starting to go after him. Blitz the linebackers, bring guys up the middle, don't let them get set and find those guys underneath.
Solomon out wide to the right. Tyler is back in the 49er backfield. Second and 10. This is Craig. There is nothing there as Dexter Manley was the first man. Curtis Jordan and the rest of the Redskins up there in a hurry.
I was talking to Dexter Manley the other day, and he said one thing he wants to do is be a complete player and play the run. Now watch him go head-to-head against Bubba Paris here. He sticks his head in there, boom, gets both hands on him. Bubba holds him on the plate, boom, he still gets off and gets in on the tackle. See, that's how you rip yourself off those hold blocks. Now you want those tight jerseys. The guys don't have a lot of stuff and cloth to hold on to.
Dexter's ready again. 3rd and 13. The 49ers from their own 17. To Solomon. Pass was incomplete, and Montana took a pretty good hit.
Oh, you see Mel Coffin come. Watch here, there's Dale Green, who usually plays cornerback. He was up on the line of scrimmage. He was coming, giving pressure to Montana from that left side, the side he was trying to throw to Freddie Solomon.
Max Runniger back deep to kick. Good kick by Runniger. Jenkins signals fair catch. Fuller was right down there in his face. 39-yard punt. Hung up there a long time. Next Sunday, it all starts, of course, with the NFL today. Dallas goes to Cincinnati. The Giants go to Houston. White, Hicks. Schrader has got some arm.
I'll tell you, that was some move that Monk makes. Watch him, he comes up, now he's going to turn in. Watch him here, he turns in, you see, then turns in, then slides back out. Hicks read that as an in or a hook, played the in or hook, turned his back, and then boom, Monk slid back to the outside. Slug.
First move. It's a good day for sledding. 1st and 10 from the 41. That's the 49ers 41. Donnie Warren was moving. This is Riggins over the right side. Riggins inside the 40 to about the 38. For an update on that Minnesota comeback, here's Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat and John, it was the comeback of the year. It was 23-0 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Then the Vikings shocked the Eagles with 4 touchdowns. Anthony Carter was the last 2 scores. That one was 4th and 5 for the winner. 28-23, Minnesota wins it. Let's go back to Pat and John.
In typical Bud Grant style, the Vikings. Didier comes wide to the right. Keith Griffin has replaced Riggins. 2nd and 8. By the 49er pursuit after he got down to the 35. Dwayne Ford. Mike Walter.
Yeah, that was old power football where they had both tight ends, Don Warren and Clint Didier, on the right side. They bring their center, Donnelly, they pull him down. Boom, now watch these hits when Griffin starts to jump. He cuts in, boom, boom, wow, mud, dirt. This is going to be a good one, this one here.
They almost knocked his uniform off.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff flying out of there. You don't know what you're going to get in this kind of field.
3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4, excuse me, John. 3:05 left to play first quarter. Schrader retreats. Looking at Didier, but he gets it to Clark. Clark slips away from the 49er and gets the first down. White Hicks finally got him down.
You know, it's an interesting thing. Clark starts as the outside receiver. Then they bring motion out, and it goes outside. See Didier outside of Clark? Now Clark is the inside guy in the slot. That takes the corner, Hicks off that way. And now Clark ran the same pattern on that side that we saw Monk do on the other side, where he started in like a hook and then slide out.
Schrader, 5 out of 11, 104 yards. First down, Redskins at the 49er 28. Again, it's Riggins. Not much there. Just a couple. Ricky Ellison, one of the many men in red on the bottom of the pile.
Now, of course, big Michael Carter's in there, too, number 95. That's tough to run inside on that 49er defense when you have to run at that guy. I'll tell you, right now, 95 right there is probably the best nose tackle in the league. Although Rick Donnelly, the center, did a pretty good job. Fired out, one hand, can't play with that left hand because it's in a cast, but he got a little movement on Carter.
Carter, I think, is bigger than William Perry, the refrigerator. Slater to the left. Has Monk. White Hicks. A pickup of 14.
Hey, Schrader is getting the confidence now. He did everything here on this play a quarterback has to do. He's getting away from the blitz. He sprints out there. He fakes out there to the side. Boom, he sees the guy in there. I'll tell you, that ball doesn't stay in the air very long when Jay Schrader throws it.
Keith Griffin has replaced Riggins. Clark is out wide to the left and Monk to the right. Griffin. Maybe got 2 yards. Ronnie Lott was the first man to hit him.
You know, one thing with this 49er defense, when they move Ronnie Lott from corner to safety, he plays free safety now, they really picked up an extra linebacker in that middle. Because Lott never really was a corner. He'll even say that. He said, I fooled him for a few years, but I'm a safety, and I think he's about half a linebacker also.
Well, he was saying to us yesterday, one of the great things he has trouble with at safety is he wants to get up there and get in the middle of it.
That's the kind of guy you want, the kind of guy that wants to get up and get in there. The one you worry about is the guy that's back there and he doesn't want to get into it.
Just as big as a ball.
The guy who's blocking doesn't want to be clubbed by that.
Here's Griffin. Slides over the right side. Jeff Stover made the stop for the 49ers.
You know, talking about that, Donnelly, not only does he, is he playing with one hand, with the left hand in a cast, but for Jay Schrader, being 6'4", 6'5", Donnelly gets down real low. And Schrader really has to bend over to get underneath Donnelly to get that ball. That is some sight. Donnelly is the lowest center that I've ever seen. Now watch Schrader as he comes out there, how low he has to get. See, Donnelly has those little short legs. And Schrader really has to get down underneath there to get that ball.
Schrader back to throw, throwing quickly in the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Clark. Schrader said he had to widen his pace.
Well, he's 6'4", and he has to get down there to about 2'6".
He also has to stay out in the hole for Mark Mosley now, as he'll attempt another field goal. This one will be right at 25 yards also. 24, call it. Mosley is wide right, and he hears the sound of the crowd.
I think he slipped on that one, Pat. Any time that a kicker, the problem you have is his plant foot. No, that didn't slip. He just fell down because he felt bad. He really didn't slip. He had pretty good footing with that left foot. Maybe the left foot was a little too much out in front. But look what that does to a coach.
San Francisco quickly ready to go. Tyler goes in motion, and Montana gets it outside the window. Tyler, he'll only get a couple. Raphael Cherry there with him. He looked in the direction of Dwight Clark first, and there was nothing there.
Joe Montana was saying yesterday that the toughest thing he's having this year is seeing guys. It seems like there's more rush in his face. I think it's a different defenses they're playing now. The pass rushes are coming up the middle as opposed to the outside.
He said they seem to be getting that push up the middle of it. Montana out of the pocket. Batted away by Darrell Green, intended for Solomon.
That's the thing that makes Darrell Green a a great cornerback. It's also the thing that gets Darrell Green in trouble. When Darrell Green, number 28, sees something, sees that move, now he's going to take an angle to get in front of it. Now that's the type of thing, he'll either pick that off and take it in the end zone, he'll knock it down, or once in a while they'll get it over his head and get a big play against him.
We'll take the bite. It's 3rd down 7, 49ers. At their own 23. They'll have to put it up again. Tyler would have had a first down, but the ball hopped out of his arm. Mel Coughlin was covering him.
Watch number 65 in here, Big Dave Butch. He weighs over 300 pounds. Guy McIntyre blocking him about 250 pounds. He's giving away 50 pounds there, so he needs a little help. He gets it right at the end from Randy Cross. Butch is saying, hey, he was holding me all the way, Rev.
Rudiger gets off a rocket that chases Ken Jenkins all the way back to his 25. And Jenkins fights his way up to the 41. This is a serious contest. This is like a playoff game, the same atmosphere. 52-yard punt by Rudiger. 7-3. 3, Seattle, Kansas City, second quarter. And Atlanta leads the Raiders 10-7 in the second quarter. Here it's 7-3, San Francisco. The Rams have already lost, so San Francisco could gain some ground. The Giants have lost, so Washington could gain some ground. Schrader. Incomplete. Intended for Clark. Dwight Hicks is the cover man.
You know, it's an interesting thing, Pat. The 49ers are playing Manu Tuiasosopo at right defensive end in place of Dwayne Board, who is really their best defensive lineman. I think they play him on first down. As we see Board coming in here on second down, Bill Walsh told me once, he said, I like to keep those guys off. Board's my best, but not have him play every down, especially against a big guy like Joe Jacoby.
They go with 4-man rush, and Fred Dean is in the game, way on the left side, on the left end. For Clark, and it's complete. A gain of about 7. Eric Wright, the defender. Look at this time of possession. Washington 12-20 and the 49ers 4:33, but of more importance is the score. 49ers lead. Total offense.
Well, the Redskins have them in every area except the score, but one thing that possession does is that means that the 49er defense has been on the field that long. And sometimes that'll start to tell in the second half.
Griffin is the lone setback now as Wiggins is out. 49ers blitz. They pick it up. That's Griffin out of the backfield, and he's got enough for a first down. Keena Turner tackled him, but Keith Griffin with that last lunge got it by about a foot.
You know, the way Jay Schrader throws that ball, it doesn't stay in the air very long. Again, watch this. He's going to see Griffin in there. Watch him. Boom. He sees he wants it there. That had to be thrown that quickly because Keena Turner was right on Griffin. Griffin made a nice move of just getting that ball up there and picking up the first down. That's what you call finishing off a run or finishing off a pass reception. Had he not finished it off and just gone down, that wouldn't have been the first down.
Griffin comes out and Riggins comes back in. The 49ers have been able to keep Big John under control, but not Jay Schrader. He gets to the 49er 45. Tuiasosopo brings him down to 78. A gain of 3.
You know, the interesting thing about this Jay Schrader is this is really his 3rd game that he started since he's been in high school. Went to UCLA, only played there 2 years. His freshman and sophomore year, only started 1 game. Went into professional baseball, played 3 years in the minor leagues, and then came to the Redskins.
Down and 7. Riggins again can only nudge it for about a yard. Michael Carter on the bottom of the pile. Riggins still face down. They've been able to keep him, as I said a minute ago, under control. 7 carries, 12 yards.
Well, they usually do. That's usually the way they start, but they keep pounding that big fullback at you. In the third quarter, he starts gaining a few more yards, and then in the fourth quarter, they hope that they wear you down. Because when the Redskins have run for 40 or more times in a game, they're 24-1.
Griffin is back in the game. They need 6 for the first down. Clark just took his eyes off the ball. Looked upfield just before the ball got there.
And that ball was zipped in there again by Schrader. Clark had double coverage. Watch him in the middle. He has inside-out coverage, but by stopping and splitting them both, he still beat the double coverage. And he forgot the most important thing.
Max, beg your pardon, is this Steve Cox? Yes. Started to go with Runiger. Steve Cox. Dana McLemore back deep. McLemore just runs away from it. The Redskins hoping for
the game. And about 24 hours later, we were in Washington, D.C. A lot of sights. Went through a lot of Arkansas, a lot of Tennessee, a lot of truck drivers.
49ers send Montana back to throw. Jerry Rice has it and breaks away from the defender. He can run. Chased by Raphael Cherry. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. There's a flag on the play, and they're going to bring it back. An 80-yard touchdown by Rice. Norm Hecker and Bill Walsh asking what happened.
I'm sure it was holding on the right tackle, Keith Fawnhorst, number 71.
Holding, number 71, offense, still first up.
Yeah, when that guy calls it from that side, you know that, let's watch him all the way. Fawnhorst will be right here, the tackle right here, blocking back here. Watch him, he's the second guy in there, 71. Starts out there. Now what happens? Man puts his arm underneath. Man puts his arm in there to be held. Fawnhorst takes him down. That's a tough call.
This is Tyler cutting over the right side. Tripped up again by Raphael Cherry. That was on a first and 20 situation. It brings up a second and 20.
You see what happens there? Charles Mann sees 71. That's who is being held. As he stuck his right arm underneath Fawnhorst's right arm, Fawnhorst just locked it down, which I think you have to do. When he locked it down, that took Mann down, and of course, the penalty then negated that long touchdown.
Rice and Clark are the wide receivers. They fake to Tyler. They're going for Rice again. Darrell Green running step for step with him.
There was a little nudging by Darrell Green and Rice going down that sideline. You know, even though the touchdown didn't count before, that was Rice on Darrell Green, that one. Darrell Green took the bite and Rice got the touchdown. Watch Darrell Green here. Rice goes to the outside. Watch him start to nudge. You see that right hand in there? He got the right hand pushed him up, then he got the right shoulder in front to cut him off.
Wonder if they might come at him again this time with a fresh man. Solomon is in there and split out with Darrell Green. Montana just throws it away. And there's the flag. That's what they're going to say. He threw it away to avoid a loss. And that's going to be a safety.
That'll be a safety, right? There was no one there. The closest guy was his right tackle, Keith Fawnhorst.
Dean Hamill was the man who put the pressure on Montana.
Of course, any penalty in the end zone is a safety. That'll be 2 points for the Redskins.
Going to make the score 7-5.
Still grounding.
Watch, you'll you'll see here, there's no one out here to Montana's right. Watch him when he throws the ball. The closest guy is 71, Keith Fawnhorn. Of course, he's a tackle, and he's not eligible. Watch it again. He's going to get the pressure straight up the middle. See, he's looking to his left. Feels the pressure there from Hamill. Had to throw the ball or take the safety anyway. So he threw the ball. There was no one out there. Here's who he's trying to throw to. He's trying to throw out here to Dwight Clark on his left. See, they had good coverage on Clark. That was Mel Kaufman, number 55 underneath. Then this guy, 78, pressured him, and he had to get rid of the ball. Now, we're in a football game. Look at that jersey. That's a football jersey. That good sweat. Big little big, oh, boy.
Bandaged fingers, everything.
All you need is a pickup truck.
7-5. Runniger is going to punt it for the 49ers. There's Joe Montana on the phone over on the bench.
There was nothing else that he could have done. This isn't a great start for Montana. But you have to remember, he did complete that pass to Jerry Rice. There was a touchdown. Now you put that in his stats, and it looks pretty good.
Yep.
You take that out, now you put this guy in his face, and it doesn't look too good because they just got 2 points and have to punt or kick from the 20, a free kick.
A safety is really, it's only 2 points, but it's a tough penalty. Good punt. Ken Jenkins back to his 20. Jenkins hammers out to about the 38. Torrey Nixon down to make the stop. An 18-yard return by Jenkins. A little pushing and shoving going on.
Well, the officials were in there doing some pushing and shoving. There's Joe Montana just after that when he goes to the sideline talking to Russ Francis.
He hasn't thrown a ball at Francis. Maybe that's what the conversation's about.
Well, I don't think he's thrown one to Dwight Clark yet either. But he was looking for something on that side, on that left side, before he threw.
Riggins the lone setback. Schrader down in the hands of Fred Dean and Dwayne Board. Michael Carter close by too. That's the second sack.
Right. Anytime the quarterback sprints out, this is the thing that I never liked about it. You shrink the field. Now watch, as Schrader comes out here, he only has one guy to that side. And he's looking deep there. Then he can't. There's no second, third, and fourth guy. You see, you shrink that field to about 1/4 of its width. And then you just pin yourself in. And that's what happened to Schrader. He pinned himself in as a result of that sprint out.
That makes it 2nd and 18. Fred Dean ready to go from the right side this time. 49ers short blitz. Now they back out of it. Schrader had a throw backing up, looking at Clark, and didn't quite get it there.
Here's the thing they did. You see there's the guy Fuller. They're playing him as a linebacker, blitzing him, bringing Fred Dean out here, trying to get the pressure on Schrader. Now Schrader does a good job of getting the ball up. You see, here comes Fuller straight up the middle. The back picks him off. He's feeling pressure from that side. He had to throw it away. I think he threw that one into the dirt.
Brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 18 situation. Dean again on the right side, working against Jacoby. Schrader has it picked off. Dwight Hicks comes up with the interception. That's his first interception in these 3 games.
We know the 49ers went to the other approach that time, Pat. They had their 6 defensive backs in there, and instead of rushing or blitzing like they have all day, they went to a zone defense. You see, Wright was a short guy. Hicks is a deep guy. Hicks gets a good read on Schrader. He wasn't watching Clark. He was watching Schrader, and boom, jumped in front of Clark. That was a zone defense.
So the 49ers get it at the Redskin 42. Handoff is to Tyler, who gets a couple over the left side. 49ers are going to have to do some running.
Well, they said they were going to, and they said they were going to try and work the inside. And that's always been tough against this team with big Dave Butts sitting in there. Get that big 300-pound guy in there.
There's Jay Schrader, the new Redskin quarterback, on the phone. Second down and 8. Montana looking wide and now changing his backs. For Solomon. He says he's down at the 1. Inside the 1, a gain of 39. Darrell Green. They went to work on him one more time.
Well, that looks like that's their game plan. Bill Walsh was saying one thing we haven't been doing this year is getting the ball up the field. Now in this game so far they're trying it and they've done it. Watch the move that Freddie Solomon puts on Darrell Green. That's a post move. He gave him a little corner move. Darrell Green bit to that, boom, then he went into the post.
Montana's reaction, which we've seen so many times over the years.
Oh yeah, Guy McIntyre has his hands full with Dave Butts, but he's doing a pretty good job of locking on to him, staying in front, and getting a little help from his center at the end, Randy Cross.
Joe Gibbs, the Redskin coach, looking on. Can't figure out what the delay is here. 7:27 remaining.
Well, the referee is running up to this end of the... oh, now he's running back. He was running over here to talk to someone on the phone.
Well, they had to reset the clock. That's what it was. They had it down to 7:27. Now they say it's 7:35. 49ers first and goal inside the 1. Tyler, the deep back. The give is to Tyler, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown. They move Bubba Paris over to the right side at tight end from left tackle. A 1-yard touchdown by Wendell Tyler. And the 49ers will lead it if the extra point is good, 14-5.
There's Bubba Paris. He said the Bears have their refrigerator. We'll just put me over here at the tight end. And then let the Redskins work out to that side and then hit the middle. They're just going right up the middle. Good block by Guy McIntyre on the middle linebacker, Neil Okowitz. That was a big block. The right guard fired out on Okowitz. Got a stalemate and got in.
Wersching's extra point is good, and here comes a flag flying in to the middle of the pile. Holding against the 49ers. They'll make him try from a little bit deeper. It'll be like the field goal. I think he called it against Milt McCall.
On the wing blocking back, offense, one more try.
Was Milt McCall.
What did he say? One more try?
One more try.
One more try. Well, if they hold again, then it'll be 2 more tries. They have to do it again. How does he know it's 1 more?
Look at Wersching. Never looks at the goalpost. Always got that head down. Kavanaugh is the holder. Successful and no penalty. There's Guy McIntyre, who's got that unenviable task of trying to control Dave Butts. 14-5, San Francisco. Ready to kick off. Ken Jenkins back deep for the Redskins. Hangs it high. Jenkins comes all the way out to about the 13 and got some blockers in front. Hammers out to the 34. Milt McCall, the tackler.
You know, the big play on that, Pat, was Freddie Solomon here in the post. He goes down, he gives Darrell Green a little move here, then goes to the post. But he really didn't have any help from his safety right here. The safety took a bite, held up here. This one held here, and Freddie had the whole field in the middle. Watch those 2 safeties. There's no way that a corner can cover this all by himself. See the safety up there? The other safety's way over in the other side, and Freddie Solomon was able to split him.
First and 10. Here's Rick time he struggles for about 3. I didn't see anything in the 49er backfield, any movement that should have held those 2 safeties.
Well, what happened, I think the free safety was going over to double on the other side. And he was looking over there at Dwight Clark and then paid too much attention to that side and didn't see Freddie Solomon sneak in his back door.
Riggins got 3 at 2nd and 7. Redskins their own 38. 6.5 minutes left first half. They go on a quick count. Riggins brings it in the pack, and Riggins hammers to the 49-40. Ronnie Lott knocked him out of bounds. Russ Grimm back at the line of scrimmage is limping.
Russ Grimm has a bad left ankle. He's a left guard. Joe Jacoby has a bad right knee. But I'll tell you, they both get some pretty good movement there. You know, it was Jacoby's little second effort that broke Riggins loose to the outside. You see that? He got his guy going back. Then right at the end, he turned his body, and Riggins was able to get by him.
Grimm is hanging in there. First down, Redskins at the 49er 39. Fake to Riggins. Schrader slips down. Still has time. Gets it behind Clark. Eric Reich was the defender.
John Riggins is the type of guy that if the Redskins are going to get in this game, they need these types of things. Watch 66, right here. Watch Jacoby, right at the end there. See that little block there, that little turn? When you weigh 310 pounds and you just turn, that blocks out a lot of guys. And Riggins keeps those feet going. Boom, 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 boom.
Kept his balance. John Hardy now comes in to the 49er defensive setup. Schrader gives to Griffin. Griffin cuts back to the middle. A gain of about 8. Michael Walter tripped him up.
That's that old Redskin counter trade play that they've run so well with Riggins over the years. Now with Griffin, he really cuts it back. He starts in there behind Grimm and Jacoby. He just lets them go.
The reason he played so much last week against Pittsburgh and again today, look at that, 109 rushes going into this game and no fumbles. That's something that he worked on during the offseason.
During the offseason, he carried a ball around with him all the time, just keeping it in his hand and grasping it.
Schrader to Clark. Ronnie Lott. Dana McLemore, beg your pardon, made the stop. A gain of 9 and another Redskin first down.
You know, Joe Gibbs was telling us yesterday that Gary Clark, number 84, may be the best thing that happened to the Redskins this year. He said with all the other guys, you know, Calvin Muhammad really not doing the job for him. They made a trade for Barnwell. That didn't work out. Someone had to come through, and this is the guy that has come through.
He played 2 years in the USFL, led Jacksonville in receiving. Last year, that's Warren, the move man. Riggins, the lone setback, and they give to John. Only a couple as Lott and Michael Carter. Shell, all involved in the stop.
Tell you, there's some driving and grunting and groaning and stuff going down on there in those pits today. Guys with casts, big guys like Jacoby playing his first game in 3 or 4 weeks. Grimm with a bad ankle, firing out on those big 49er defensive linemen. Ripped jerseys, mud.
Keith Griffin back in for Riggins. The Redskins have run the ball 16 times so far. Here's the blitz by Fuller. The ball is loose. Tina Turner has the ball, and he's going to score for the 49ers. It'll be a run of 65 yards. Fuller caused it again.
That's the thing the 49ers said they were going to do to Jay Schrader today, is blitz him. That was from Schrader's backside. Jeff Fuller coming again. Watch him right up here, number 49, coming from the backside. Griffin goes out. No one blocks Fuller. Schrader doesn't see him nor feel him. Fuller, boom, hits him from behind. Tina Turner sitting there, picks up the ball, and takes it in for a touchdown.
So the 49ers have gotten some big plays. If you look at statistics, the statistics you normally keep, it would look like the Redskins should be winning. But right now, Ray Wersching is going to try to put point number 21 on the board for San Francisco. And he extends his streak, which is the longest in the NFL. San Francisco, with 3:53 left in the first half, leads at 21-5.
But watch Griffin go out. He runs right by him. Now there's no one to block number 49, Jeff Fuller. Of course, Schrader can't see him. Doesn't know he's there. Boom.
And Jenkins bouncing out to about the 26-yard line. Don't forget, coming up Saturday here on CBS, college football, the finale. Army-Navy, live at 2:30 Eastern Time. That, by the way, is not the longest run by a 49er to be returned for a touchdown. That distinction is held by Dwight Hicks back in 1981. And that's 80 yards. Didier comes out wide left. Warren lines up on the wing. Monk comes in motion. To Monk. Riley Lott is up in a hurry. Big Dave Butts over on the sideline. Big is hardly enough of the description.
He's all by himself there. Look at that helmet. That helmet has been through a lot of football games. Remember a couple of weeks ago we were standing here and he had his two young sons with him. And one son said, "Hey, Dad, when do you get a new helmet around here?" He said, "Hey, you live with me. You don't have to ask me that here."
That helmet's big enough to put a house in.
Well, you know, it's two helmets. They have to take two helmets and mold them together to fit them.
Here's the counter play to Griffin. He is hit about 3 yards shy of the first down, again by Michael Carter.
I'll tell you, the 49ers, the way this thing is going for them, whether or not they heard the news in the locker room that the Rams had lost, everything is sure flipping around for them, because if they can win this, then they play the Rams yet again. They don't have to be thinking of wild cards. They can be thinking of championship.
They sure can. Third down and about 2 from the Redskin 34. Backtracks and gets it outside to Didier. Didier stays on his feet, is hammered by Dwight Hicks first, but a gain of 9. Bostic has moved into the offensive lineup now. I'm trying to see if he has replaced Russ Grimm. He has. 21-5.
Fuel-injected Dodge Lancers come with optional turbochargers.
No, they're not. The medical staff is not looking at him. Jeff Bostic, who normally is a center, has replaced him at left guard. Might be, as you say, John, that Grimm's ankle just finally wore down and he couldn't go any longer.
I bet that's what did happen. You know, it is the left ankle. You can see there that they're not doing anything to it, but sometimes it just wears down, just runs out of gas on you.
First down from the 43 as Didier goes in motion. Schrader goes back to throw. That's Art Monk. He's in 49er territory. Dana McLemore took him down.
The Redskins are having good success with this same pattern. We'll see Monk come down. Now he's going to turn into us. Turn in here like a hook. See, turn inside, then slide to the outside. Now what that does, if he turns outside, McLemore, 43, would come up to the outside. When he turns inside, McLemore comes up to the inside, and the ball's thrown out.
to date. That's the way the NFC East looks. With Dallas at 9-4, the Giants losing by 2 to Cleveland today at 8-5. The Redskins trying to match that figure. Philadelphia lost, so they're 6-7. Next Sunday, it begins with the NFL today. Dallas goes to Cincinnati, and the Bengals can score a lot of points. The Giants go to Houston, and these Redskins visit the Eagles in Philadelphia. Check your local listings.
You know, Dallas is going to Houston, to Cincinnati next week for the first time they've ever played there. Just one of those things, the way the schedule works out, the Cowboys have never played in Cincinnati.
And of course, the next week, then the Giants go to Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Hey, Tom Landry was saying that he was happy that he got to play the Cardinals on Thanksgiving on a short week, then getting to play Cincinnati with 10 days rest on a long week.
An unfamiliar team.
Look at that left hand of Donnelly. You know, there's no way that he can, of course, even use that hand on the ball. He keeps that away to snap with one hand.
Didier comes in motion. They're after Schrader again. It was Dean, and it hit his arm just as it started forward. Dean was there, and there was pressure from John Hardy from the other side.
Bunch of pressure here. Dean is able to start up the field. Joe Jacoby pushes him at the end, trying to push him by Schrader. Now Schrader can step up, but when he does, there's that number 49 again, Jeff Fuller. Fuller has been the biggest problem for this Redskin offense today. This guy right here, blitzing right, blitzing left, coming up the middle, knocking the ball away from the quarterback.
Second down. Fuller is lined up in the middle now. He doesn't blitz this time. He covers Griffin, or tries to. Clark still on his feet. Clark inside the 10. Finally tripped up by Dwight Hicks. It's going to be first and goal.
Watch Gary Clark. He's man-to-man there on Eric Wright, the best defender in the 49er secondary. See, he started up inside, held him, then he ran that in pattern on him. Got by Ronnie Lott, got by Wright again, and just got caught at the end. But we see the stunt there. Fred Dean coming from the outside. Tuiasosopo going in first. They got Tuiasosopo, and Fred Dean came around from the tackle position and just got there at the end of it.
Clark just got 32 yards on that reception, 6 for 83, and it's not halftime yet. The Redskins are down to one timeout.
And I was just saying that Gary Clark went right at their strength. I mean, that was Eric Wright, who I've always felt was one of the best cover guys in the NFL.
Gary Clark is a tough guy. Schrader back into the huddle. We were wondering if he would maintain his composure and poise. I don't think we have to wonder anymore.
Well, you know, just talking to him, I think that, you know, he said that minor league baseball, you know, he jokes that he played against Dwight Gooden, and Dwight Gooden is the guy that made him a football player because he couldn't hit him. But I think, you know, that experience, being on the road, that whole thing, he said that really matured me.
Schrader, backpedal. In the direction of Monk, incomplete and no flag. It was Eric Wright who was the defender.
This is where the Redskins are having trouble right now, and I think Schrader has some trouble here. When you shrink down the field and you get it down there inside the 20, and you only have 20, 25 yards to work. In this case, he only has 20 yards to work a passing game. The 49ers are coming in. They're probably going to give him a big blitz on this play.
Well, number 49, Fuller, is, as John Madden was telling you, lined up usually in a position occupied by a linebacker. Doesn't look like he's going to blitz this time. But he is.
I would think if I were the Redskins, I would get someone, Jeff Fuller. I would keep someone in the backfield as a personal protector for Schrader just to block Fuller, because he was coming on that play, and he was free on that play had the whistle not blown. But, you know, Fuller was a linebacker in college.
Number 10, offense, still second down.
Still second down. They call the Redskins for delay of game.
I'm saying if Fuller was a linebacker in college, the 49ers drafted him as a defensive back, and he's a safety, but they really still use him as a linebacker. Ronnie Lott told us that he said he's one of the hardest hitting guys that he has ever seen, linebacker or defensive back. And the way they use him, he really helps this defense. But I would get a guy on him. I would say, hey, you block 49.
That's a tough task. They had problems with the clock again and put 2 more seconds back. So it's 1:27 left in the first half. The 49ers leading 21-5. Somebody on Fuller that time, and they got him blocked. And Didier dives and makes the catch in front of Dwight Hicks.
Well, that was Griffin that blocked him that time, Pat, and we're sure remember the touchdown where Fuller sacked Schrader. Griffin went out for a pass, and I bet he was supposed to do that. I bet he was supposed to block him on that one, too.
Third down, clock running, 1:05 left first half. Schrader back to throw again. Fuller is on him again. But Clark comes up with a catch. But it'll be 4th down as Eric Wright takes him down at the 5. There was Fuller again.
Schrader's taking timeout. Maybe they're going to go for it on 4th down, because if they're going to kick it, they sure don't want the timeout. An interesting decision here for Joe Gibbs.
Steve Cox, you saw over warming up behind the Redskin bench. He normally doesn't kick anything but the very long field goals, and here comes Mosley.
Let's watch that last play again. Here comes Fuller from the same place. This time Griffin goes to the other side. Fuller again right in Schrader's face. Although he completed the ball, he wasn't able to hold it long enough to get the first down or the score.
And Mosley comes on again.
The Redskins have to do something about that Fuller guy, don't you think?
I think they'll spend most of the half figuring that out, or trying to. Redskins took their last timeout. There are 50 seconds remaining. Mosley out with Schrader holding. This he'll try from 22 yards. It's right down the pipe. That makes it 21-8 with 47 seconds left to play in the first half. Most unusual. San Diego, second quarter, 24-7 over Buffalo. Seattle 17-3 over the Chiefs. Atlanta still leading the Raiders 17-13 in the first half. Minnesota beat Philadelphia 28-23, all 28 points in the 4th quarter. Cleveland beat the Giants 35-33. Denver will kick off. 49ers expecting an onside kick. You know, McLemore back deep by himself for San Francisco. No onside kick. McLemore will handle it at the 2. Like playing in Canada. No blockers, no nothing.
Well, the 49ers had to get up there and protect for an onside kick. Again, I was surprised the Redskins took that timeout when they were going to kick the field goal. Because, of course, you'd want to run the clock out if you're going to, so that the 49ers don't get the ball back. Of course, that forced the 49ers to have to protect against the onside kick. And when you do that, if you do kick deep, you really don't have a return.
Offsides, number 39. Kicking team, decline. First down.
49ers turned down the penalty, which was against Otis Wansley for being offside.
I always wondered how Wansley got to be the first guy down there all the time.
He doesn't get caught.
There's no referee. Here comes an official running up to talk to him. There they go.
Montana. I remember the Redskins don't have any timeouts, so they'll just let it expire. 49ers have all theirs left, but they won't use any. Clock continues to run. For the 49ers, the offense got a touchdown. The special teams got a touchdown. And the defense got a touchdown. And that accounts for all of the points. You add in Ray Wershing. Score is 21-8. The Redskins have 2 field goals. They missed 2. And they got a safety when Montana grounded the ball in the end zone. And so
It's lead 21-8. So much for stats, huh?
there's Jenkins out of the end zone, returning Wershing's kick to about the 26. Total plays, I mentioned, 46 for Washington, 19 for San Francisco.
Look at that. And the 49ers have only gained 11 yards rushing, the 48 passing. They have 21 points, and they could have had 28 points had not one been called back for holding.
Montana is 3 out of 11. Redskin ball their own 25 as Monk and Didier come wide right. Now Didier moves in on the flank. Clark is at the top of the screen. Fake to Riggins. Trader has Monk. Monk drops the football. The 49ers have it. Ricky Ellison comes up with the ball, and they're saying it was a fumble. The 3rd Redskin turnover.
That's why the stats don't mean anything. When you do stuff like this, here's Art Monk running on an end. Schrader makes a nice pass right to him. Monk puts it away, starts to run with it, and the ball just drops out. It looked like he was changing hands from his right hand to his left hand. It went boom, right out.
It was a good call. Washington with 3 turnovers now. 49ers with 1. Here's Roger Craig. He's been quiet most of the day, as has Wendell Tyler. Olkowitz on the stop. There's Ricky Ellison, who made the recovery. He's become one of the leaders of the 49er defense.
And you know why he's smiling, talking so much? He got fooled on the play fake. You know, that ball was faked to Riggins first. Ellison was supposed to help underneath. He didn't help in the coverage, but he sure got the fumble.
2nd down and 8. Redskins coming with a blitz. Montana gets away from some of them. Fires downfield. Pass is knocked away from Jerry Rice by Darrell Green.
You know, I think that helped because they had the middle linebacker coming on a blitz. They brought the safety on a blitz. Now when Montana feels it here, he takes the ball and goes out to the side with it. See, he doesn't let him get to his backside. He has that pretty well protected. Now he runs out away from the blitz and the pressure.
And he almost got it to Jerry Rice. 3rd and long, and they're showing blitz again. The linebacker's starting to come this time. A fumble. Joe Montana had a problem with the exchange. Dexter Manley came out with the ball, but it's still going to belong to the 49ers.
That's a surprise. The 49ers ran off the field. The Redskins ran off the field. And the punting teams ran on. I think the 49ers thought originally that they lost it.
Max Runiger out to punt. Aiming for the corner. Jenkins over there signals for the fair catch. Makes it at the 15. Only a 24-yard punt by Runiger. 3rd quarter. 21-8.
When they
Went directly to the oxygen. And now he's out of the game and down lying on the sideline. And Keith Griffin has taken his place. Griffin springs into the secondary, stays on his feet, and gets a Redskin first down. A pickup of about 12 before Eric Wright and Carlton Williamson bring him down. A gain of 13 make it.
We see Griffin here. He starts to run right at. Then he makes that little cutback against Ellison. See, Ellison, number 50, started to go to the right, and boom, he came back. Watch the center here, Donnelly. Watch him block Michael Carter. Jimmy gets him to the outside, kind of half with an influence.
Trainer comes back and gets it to Clark. Clark is taken out of bounds by Clyde Hicks. Flung out of bounds. A gain of 9. There is Riggins headed for the locker room.
You know, it was something they started. John Riggins was on the sideline, sitting up. Then he went down, and then they administered him, and then they got up, and he walked into the locker room. Doesn't look like an injury type of thing.
Looks like, of course, he's had a bad back, historically a bad back, but that didn't look like a back problem. It is something with his back unofficially. Second down and 1. And Griffin will have it. Jeff Stover on the bottom of the pile.
You know what Bill Walsh is thinking here? He's thinking, you know, we haven't played well offensively. We don't want to get into a shootout today because we're not prepared for it. He's also thinking, I don't want this crowd to take over this place. We need our defense right now, because if they get a score, this whole thing could turn on us.
Art Monk is split wide to the right. Schrader back to throw if he has time. Ball is on the ground, and the 49ers have it again. Jeff Stover fell on it.
They're giving Jay Schrader every type of look that they could see. They had 8 men up, 7 men on the line, 5 down defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, and 3 deep. Watch him. Here's the defensive lineman here, 4, 5. Then they have the 1 linebacker and another one out here, putting all the pressure on Schrader. He came back. He did a little pump fake there. And the ball just stayed down. You watch him when he goes to pump it. He goes to pump it, and the ball goes down.
Montana out quickly to his tight end, Russ Francis. Francis inside the Washington 20. Mel Kaufman finally knocked him out of bounds. A gain of 17 on the first catch of the day by Russ Francis. 4 Washington turnovers. Jay Schrader over on the sideline. 49er first down to the 18, and now we understand it is not a back problem with Riggins. It's just that he's dizzy and weak. Montana gives to Roger Craig. Craig can find nothing. Turnovers, boy, they haunt you. In 85 this season, in the 7 games they've won, they are +8. In the 5 losses, they're -12. That's until today. Joe Gibbs has reason to be concerned. Outside to John Frank. And the Redskins hammer him after he gained about 5. Again, it was Mel Kaufman who was there first.
John Frank is saying, boy, when you get that ball, I've only had 6 of them all year. But when you do get that, that brings a lot of guys on the other team. John Frank started on the tight end, the left side, went in motion all the way across the field. Montana hit him out there, and boom, about 5 Redskins jumped on him.
3rd down and 5. Line of scrimmage is the Redskin 13. Somebody jumped off sides. I think it was Manley. Pass is complete to Craig. If this is against Manley, it'll be close to a 49er first down.
I'm sure it was Dexter Manley. Dexter knows that the flag is being thrown there. He's saying the left tackle moved. He's saying that Bubba Paris moved. Referee said, no, he didn't. You moved. We can see him right there coming right at it. I didn't see anyone move.
Just Dexter.
Looks like, well, you know, unless he thought the ball moved or a snap or something.
5 yards, puts it beyond the stake. First up.
Boy, that's almost like another turnover.
But Dexter's still saying he didn't do it. Of course, you have to see the ball. That's the thing, you know, did he move before the ball moved?
Montana back to throw, chased by Mann. He gets it down the middle to Craig. Craig manages to get inside the 5. That'll make it 2nd and goal. Kaufman again on the stop.
Remember last year, it just seemed like Joe Montana and Craig were the entire offense of the 49ers in some game. He'd hand to Craig on the runs, and he'd drop back, always finding Roger Craig underneath somewhere.
Clock running with 9:55 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down. The give is to Tyler. And Tyler scores for San Francisco. There's a flag down in the end zone. John Frank was trying to block somebody, and that was the area in which the flag was thrown.
I tell you, there was a lot of good blocks on that one. Roger Craig made a nice block. The right guard, Guy McIntyre.
Unnecessary roughness after the score. Number 55, defense. The touchdown is good. 15 yards on the kickoff.
John Frank, I think, was into the fracas with Mel Kaufman, and they called Kaufman. The penalty will be stepped off on the kickoff. Here's Worshing to try with Cavanaugh holding, and John Riggins is back on the bench. Worshing extends his streak.
Watch the block that Guy McIntyre gets on this play. He's going to pull. He'll pull out. Roger Craig is a fullback. He leads, but watch 62, McIntyre leading right there. He just takes Dean out, Vernon Dean a corner, boom, just puts him up right down, and Wendell Tyler's right in behind him. The reason that Kaufman is upset, I think Frank holds him right there. Then Frank stays with him. Now there's a touchdown. Look, he's still blocking him right there. He goes down, watch the foot, the right foot. Boom. Official right there, so that's 15 yards on the kickoff.
First down, Redskins. 49ers leading now 28-8. Heath Griffin is alone back. Here is Schrader to Didier. Didier struggles for about 8. Milt McCall on the stop. The Washington turnovers. 3 touchdowns resulted.
And that's, you know, the 49er offense really hasn't, you know, had those drives that they used to have. But when you get the turnovers like that, you don't need those drives when you can drive enough to get touchdowns from 3 out of 4.
This defense has still not given up a touchdown to 49ers. This is Griffin. Chased by Lott. And taken down by Lott.
You know, talking about that, this defense hasn't given up a touchdown. Coming into this game, they hadn't given up a touchdown in 10 quarters. So now they haven't given up a touchdown in 12 quarters.
They're working on 13 with 8:58 left.
Now, here's the defense that's been given the Redskins problem. The one we see coming in now. Of course, Jeff Fuller, there's the guy who's personally been giving him trouble. But this whole package.
Fuller is lined up in the middle now. Didn't show blitz and didn't blitz. That'll be enough for a first down. Don Warren, who gets the first. A gain of 7. But the clock continues to run.
I was just saying, I think Jay Schrader was glad to see that they didn't come into blitz, because that has been giving him trouble all day.
No blitz. Yes, there is one coming from the outside. The ball bounces in the direction of Art Monk.
This is the thing, you know, when you get a heavy field like this, the big thing is the cleats. Now, the Redskins here have 3 sizes of cleat. They have a short cleat for a dry day, a medium cleat for a regular day, then a heavy or longer cleat for a wet day. And you can see the change in the cleats. They're probably going from that medium cleat to the longer cleat.
It rained steadily all day yesterday. Of course, the field was covered, but today it's just been a heavy mist. Schrader got Clark. Eric Wright and Ronnie Lott, but Clark gets a first down.
Gary Clark has done an outstanding job today on Eric Wright. Not many people do this. Eric Wright out here man-to-man. See, it gave him that same move. It's that in move against tight coverage. He starts up, gives him a little move, a little bend into him to hold him, and then whap, bends off the in on him.
Clark has caught 9 for 111 yards. Wright comes up and tries to crowd him, but he's so quick he gets away. Here's Griffin. Griffin tackled by Carlton Williamson, but a gain of 7 or 8.
That was an interesting thing. Gary Clark lines up tight at the end of the line of scrimmage, because what they were doing, when they pulled both the guard and tackle, Bostic and Jacoby, teams have been getting in behind that and chasing it. So they brought their wide receiver, Clark, in tight so that he could cut off that backside guy. It's an interesting type of approach to it.
A very intelligent approach. Rick Donnelly, the center, looked like he was in severe pain after that play was over, but he's still in there, broken hand and all. Schrader. Look for Didier. He had the kind of coverage he wanted. Todd Shell, the linebacker, was with Didier, and he did a good job.
Well, Todd Shell, the linebacker, did the thing that you always want to do when you get man-on-man, is use the sideline when you can. You can see Rick Donnelly in the pain that he's in there. But, you know, if you ever break a hand, in fact, he has 2 broken bones in that left hand. But anything that happens to that arm, it just all goes right to the break.
Especially on a cool, damp day like this. There's that mitt. 3rd down and about 3. They give to Griffin, who was hit behind the line of scrimmage by Michael Carter, the nose man.
I'll tell you, Carter used him that time. He said what he was going to do, he just overpowered Donnelly. Let's watch him. Here's Carter. Watch him take this side. Now, here's the bad side, the left side. Just take that, knock Donnelly right back in here, and it hits the ball carrier. But watch Carter and the power he has coming off the line of scrimmage. And you see him work to the left side. So he's working to that broken hand. And that's where they were running, and he took Donnelly and knocked him right into the ball.
He said he would work that side yesterday. Here is Steve Cox's good kick. McNamara lets it go over his head, and it goes into the end zone. A punt of 48 yards. 5:54 left in the 3rd. Rich Malott, who doesn't get a lot of notoriety. We just had a shot of him getting his cleats changed a minute ago. That's about as much mention as you'll hear. But he does one whale of a job.
Rich Malott's one of those Penn State linebackers. It seems like every year there's 2 or 3 linebackers coming out of Penn State.
2nd down and 10. They held Craig for nothing. Montana gives on a draw play. Craig. Roger Craig out near 1st down yardage, and I think he has it. Mel Kaufman tripped him up. A gain of 11.
You know, the Redskins are in this position where they have to get the ball back. So they're thinking second down long. Let's go after the passer. Let's get Montana. And you see what happens. They let him rush the passer. Then McIntyre just turned butts out. Just let him come in, let him rush the passer. Then right at the end, turn out, and then boom, you run that draw inside.
First and 10, 49ers. Montana fake to Tyler, gets away from man. Russ Francis, about as high as he could reach. Backs out of bounds in front of the 49er bench, a gain of 20. Montana is tough to rush.
Well, he is, and that's the thing that he does so well is the only way you get a sack on Montana is by getting more than one guy there. He can usually get away from one guy. Watch Mann here. See, Mann had a heck of a pass rush against Keith Fawnhorst, but Montana could get by him, get a little move. Look at Francis say, there's no one around, and I had to go out of bounds, going backwards.
They move into Redskin territory. Off first down, Montana faces a blitz. This time he doesn't get away. Monty Coleman. That's the first sack by the Redskins all day. But Coleman has got great speed.
That time Monty Coleman was coming from the outside. He's the type that you don't get away from. Watch Coleman. He comes here. Montana, when he started to move, he moved into this way and moved right into Coleman. Watch him. He's going to come from the outside. He's free right there. After the fakes, he gets by Wendell Tyler. Montana is trying to get out around him instead of going away from him. Usually he'll try and escape to his right, as he did then.
Monty Coleman can run with most of the halfbacks. Clock running with 4:10 left in the third quarter. Montana to Dwight Clark, and that's his first catch of the day. Gain of 6. Rick Donnelly, playing with that broken hand, was really in obvious pain when he came off after that last series.
I think the Redskins are probably close to taking him out. A little earlier, we saw Jeff Bostic working with Jay Schrader snapping the ball. Hey, you know, they had a contest in NFL Strongest Man, and Donnelly won that contest.
Third down. Montana back to throw. Up into the pocket. Gets it out to Carl Monroe. And he gets close to midfield. 9-yard gain. Doing a little diagramming over on the 49er sideline with the defensive unit. And that was Ricky Ellison.
Well, he's taken over. Remember, in the sideline, we always saw Jack Hacksaw Reynolds was always over there diagramming plays and stuff, and it looked like Ricky Ellison maybe took over for him.
I wonder if he has as many pencils.
Oh, no. I mean, unless Hacksaw left him there, they probably just wouldn't have his leftover.
Max Runiger back to punt. And Ken Jenkins back deep for the Redskins. Good kick by Runiger. Jenkins watches it go into the end zone. And they'll bring it back to the 20. That fairly nearly went out of bounds. 51-yard punt. Jeff Fuller was the first man down. And it's 28-8, 49ers. Taking his place at offensive center for the Redskins. And Russ Grimm is back at left guard. First down, Washington. Keith Griffin remains the runner. Schrader gets it out to Griffin. 49ers get out in good shape. Michael Carter. Ricky Ellison was out there to read it quickly, and Carter got it on the pursuit.
That was a heck of a play by Michael Carter. He's going to come right up the middle. He runs right by Jeff Bostic. Watch him. He's chasing there for the sack. Now he stops. Watch him. 95 come running down the line and dive and makes the tackle all behind the line of scrimmage.
They lost a yard. 2 minutes left, third quarter. '49ers, Jeff Stover.
Number 61,
Now they're saying it was the man in front of Stover, Ken Huff, who pulled him offside. So it's against Washington.
What they're talking about is right here. They're talking about the right guard who moved here. They're saying once Huff gets down, he can't move anyway. You see now, we see the movement there. You see him, he's going to start. And I guess when the defense moves, it's okay, but it didn't look like Huff moved. I was waiting for him to move.
Trying to run a screen pass, and they have blockers in front of Griffin. Griffin cuts back. Gets outside the 25 before Todd Shell and Carlton Williamson converge. A pickup of 13.
Oh, Russ Grimm, the left guard, is just out there on guts, Pat. He can hardly go at all. He's limping out there. Watch him on the right side of the screen, 68, the left guard. Watch him here. Now he has to come down the line. You see him start out there limping? Look, he can't even run. Then he goes in there, tries to get a block, does pick off one, and that allows Griffin to get some yardage.
Grimm is really in pain, you're right.
Yeah, he just can't go at all, but I guess Donnelly just couldn't handle that nose tackle, and that whole left side of his body looked like it was being bothered. So it was, you know, who's worse, Donnelly or Russ Grimm on one leg? So they're playing with Grimm on one leg.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 situation. Next Sunday, it begins with the NFL.
You know, over the years, you know, they've been a great offensive line, and especially that left side over there, as we see Russ Grimm and Joe Jacoby. And they've both been bothered by injuries all year.
Well, they've won the NFC East 3 consecutive years. They're going to do it again. They got a lot of work ahead of them. 3rd and 4. Lott showing blitz. Now he backs out. Schrader gets it down the middle to Monk, who comes up with a catch against Eric Wright. A gain of 18 and a Redskin first down. Not over yet.
You know, I think that's one thing that Jay Schrader is going to do well over the years. Because he is so tall, he can throw in that middle. Because he can drop back and he can see over these guys. Watch him here as he's coming here. He gets a rush. Now as he drops back, you see right there, he can stop. He can see the whole inside. He's looking to his right. Boom, he comes back to Monk. And he has the height to see and then the strong arm to do something about it.
First down, Washington at their own 43. Seconds ticking away at the end of the 3rd quarter. Schrader back to throw again. Gets it out to Monk. Monk is out of bounds. White Hicks again the defender.
The Redskins have been able to move the ball most of the day, but they just haven't been able to get it in the end zone. Here's that same move. It's the out pattern off the hook move. You come to the inside, and you see Dwight Hicks come up to the inside, then Monk slides to the outside. You run an out off a hook.
They got 13 yards, and they moved the sticks with 5 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Season high for the Redskins, 303 yards. Schrader, 24 for 40, and he's back to try it again. Intended for Didier, who got his feet tangled up with a defender. Crowd, of course, thought that Todd Shell should be called for interference. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score San Francisco 28, the Redskins 8. Has it batted away by Fred Dean, I believe. Boy, you look at the statistical story. Redskins have 343 total yards. San Francisco 119. But the Redskins have 4 turnovers.
You know, Bill Walsh still has that concerned look on his face, Pat, and I know what he's, but you know, Bill Walsh likes everything to function smoothly, and his offense really isn't functioning that way. And he knows you're going to take a win any way you can. You know, we have the Rams coming up. We can still win this thing. But I still think he wishes his offense were playing better.
Schrader lets it go. Intended for Gary Clark, incomplete. He was being chased and hammered by Dean and Shell. Eric Wright was the defender downfield. Steve Cox comes on. You can certainly tip your hat to the 49er defense. It is now 13 quarters since they allowed a touchdown. Takes a Redskin bounce, and they'll down it at about the 9.5-yard line. Greg Williams down there to down it. 33-yard punt. Over on the 49er bench. I did not see any flags go down. Yeah, I see one now, right at the 50-yard line. They're going to bring it back.
Number 45, kicking team, still 4th down.
.45 is Barry Wilburn. 12, of course, is the punter, Steve Cox, and Dana McLemore back deep for San Francisco. Good kick by Cox. The Redskin down there, but he lost it, but the ball was landed in the end zone anyway. Barry Wilburn was that. Curtis Jordan. A gain of 21. Craig's longest of the day by far.
You know, Craig has that high knee action that allows this type of thing. You never have him. He's running that counter play. He starts, he slants to the right, then he aims right at the hole. But you see how those legs are going and churning? And when he gets grabbed, he never stops. He keeps those legs going boom, 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 boom. And he breaks so many tackles by that.
They get some room out to the 40. They give this time to Tyler. And Tyler hammers over the left side for a gain of 6. 13:35 left to play now.
I think the 49er offense is really pretty fresh because they've gotten their points. They haven't, had that time of possession. They haven't been on the field a long time, and they probably want to get a little work here.
Solomon wide to the right. They give again to Tyler, and Tyler barrels for a first down into Redskin territory. A gain of 8. Raphael Cherry and Curtis Jordan brought him down. San Diego making it miserable for Buffalo, 40-7 in the 4th. Seattle in control against Kansas City, 24-6. On top here, 28-8. First down at the Washington 46. The pitch is back to Craig and Butts and Curtis Jordan take him down. Butts grabbed McIntyre, the guard, as he tried to come out, and then ran the play down from behind. They'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Solomon comes out wide right. Roger Craig and Carl Monroe are now the running backs. That's Monroe in motion. Montana had it to Clark. Clark dropped it. One more score. Raiders now have taken control of that game. They trailed Atlanta for most of the first half, but now they lead 27-17. Their playoff hopes still very much alive. Denver won earlier today. Monroe is out and Tyler is back in. It'll be 3rd and 9. first down. If they mark it where he bounced, he'll have it. Curtis Jordan tripped him up. Tyler's had sort of a bad knee, but he's running okay today. Jordan getting up rather slowly.
The 49er offensive line is sure driving off now. I mean, they've kind of taken control here, and on this drive that, Bubba Pierce, John Ayers on the left side, McIntyre and Farnhorst on the right side, they're just flying off with the snap of that ball.
Fourth and about a foot, and they're going to go for it. John Frank is in. They send Tyler in motion. They give to Craig, and Craig hurdles over the top, and I think he got it. Curtis Jordan again made the stop.
That's the one where the official comes in from the sideline to spot it. How they do that, I don't know, but the guy runs 25 yards from the sideline, and he's going to spot that ball with his right foot or his left foot and tell you whether it's a first down or not.
They're bringing out the chains. Montana is indicating to the sideline that they do have it, but let's see where they mark it. Well, they've got it down marked, and it is a first down.
This is just like the goal line. You see Craig is going to come in and take off. Now again, it's the ball breaking the plane. So it's how far the ball goes. There's no plane, but that guy has to mark it where that ball went. And of course it comes backwards.
So they put it down at the 35, and San Francisco will have 4 more cracks at it. Straight ahead of Craig again. He might have gotten a yard this time, or maybe a little bit more than that.
The wall still has that playlist. It's not as big as it used to be. Joe Montana says that they have about 80 runs and 40 passes on that list today. I remember once when they had over 100 passes alone on that play.
When they got into the playoffs last year. Second down and 7, and they give straight ahead of Craig again. Craig squirms his way inside the 30 to about the 32 before Darrell Green makes the stop. And time is starting to work for the 49ers and against the Redskins.
Guy McIntyre has done a pretty good job there as you look at him, the right guard. He's really not a big guy. I mean, he only weighs about 250 pounds. Watch him there, 62. He's firing out, and he stays with his guy. Andy Cross, he had a little hole. He had a right hand full of jersey.
Russ Francis will have the catch and have first down yardage, but I think the Redskins were offsides. It looked like Mel Kaufman jumped too early.
Mel Kaufman was coming on a blitz from the left side of the 49er offense, right next to Dexter Manley, who had jumped before. Something over on that right side of the Redskin defense that's making those guys jump.
Francis with that catch gained 4, and they got the first down. First and 10. They're at the Redskin 24. Montana back. Intended for Clark. Manley got loose and maybe hurried Montana a little bit.
Another guy doing a good job on that offensive line is Keith Farnhorst, the right tackle, because he's playing against Charles Mann. Now, coming into this game, Mann was the second leading sacker in the league. And they've had quite a battle out there.
They really have.
Had one holding penalty on a touchdown. It didn't look like holding to me. They've had a pretty good battle. 271's going on.
Montana to Tyler. And Tyler hammers straight ahead for 8 yards and a gain of about 15.
Hey, it's the fourth quarter. Watch Farnhorst there and Francis taking on this side of the line. They get some movement there. And that's where Wendell Tyler goes. Maybe whoever called that play was thinking the same thing. Hey, old guy McIntyre and Keith Farnhorst doing pretty well over there. Let's give them the ball in behind those guys.
I think you have to recognize what Randy Cross has done, too, starting at center. place of Fred Quillen, who they expect to have back next week. Pitch back to Craig. Down the corner is Craig, and Darrell Green gets him out of bounds. But he got another San Francisco first down with a pickup of 7.
You know, Randy Cross was a center in college, and I think that everyone felt that he could be a good center in the pro. Then they needed him at guard, and he became an all-pro right guard. And I'm sure that there's no one that would think that had he not played center, he wouldn't have been an all-pro center.
He's a very articulate guy.
Good sweat, good hair coming out of the helmet, good tight jersey.
Dirty. Muddy. Hand off to Tyler, who is really hit. The hole opened, and it closed very quickly. Dean Hamill, Dave Butts. If the 49ers continue as they are and win, that's what the NFC Western Division standings will look like. And the two meet next week in San Francisco. Second and 8. Francis for the touchdown. Butts is probably saying, someone help me. 8-yard touchdown pass from Montana to Russ Francis.
Hey, Russ Francis just ran down and stood right on the goal line. Right on the line, turned that 81 right towards Montana, and Montana hit him between the 8 and the 1. Watch, Montana's looking to the right. He wasn't looking at Francis. Francis just came and stopped just outside the goal line. He just stopped there, boom, threw him the ball. He wasn't the primary receiver.
Worshing adds the extra point. And Dave Butts, I think, was indeed complaining about being held by McIntyre.
You know, Guy McIntyre has been locking up with Butts all day. The one thing McIntyre does, he gets in his face. Now that time he did get his left hand up there and grab the jersey. That's what Butts is complaining. He said, I gave him a quick move. The only way he could have stopped me is holding me.
He still thinks that. And the 49ers wrap him down at the 35.
You know, the interesting thing, Pat, about Russ Francis' touchdown, here he is. Now watch this guy right here. That's the umpire, the official. Now Francis, I've always felt that the 49ers and Francis use that guy. They run right at him and then brush off him and then catch the ball right here. They use this guy here as a screen. Watch Francis come off the ball. Now watch, now right here he's going to run right at that umpire. You see right there? Now watch him, he plays off of him, uses him as a screen. Now the defender can't get there and they hit right between the two. I've always felt they've done that.
Redskins have it first and 10. Schrader back to throw. Pulls the screen to Griffin. Griffin gets out to the 40. Tuiasosopo after a gain of 6. You'd expect that to be the mood on the Washington bench. This was a big game for them.
I'll tell you, and then they had to get deflated right off the bat when the 49ers came out and returned that opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Schrader's pass intended for Monk is incomplete. Eric Wright was close to him. Yep, that's a tough way to start. That'll quiet the crowd and puts a little more pressure on the offensive unit.
I think it did. I think it got the crowd down before the crowd could be used here.
And it can be used, can't it?
Like Randy Cross is doing some snapping there. I wonder if the 49ers are going to put Matt Cavanaugh in. I wonder if he was at the other end of that snap.
I guess. Schrader back straight out, looks to his left, gets to Clark. Enough for a first down. Dwight Hicks and Eric Wright, the defender. The 49ers have won, including today, 21 of the last 28 road games. That's the best in the NFL, and that truly is remarkable. Matt Cavanaugh loosening up for the 49ers with 7:11 left to play. Trader come up. Incomplete. Eric Wright. It's colder on that side of the field. Dexter Manley underneath that hood. Second and 10 for the 40 from the 46. Line of scrimmage, the 46. Clock stops at 7:05. Again, Schrader back to pass, and he has time, and he's hit. As the pass is complete, now it's incomplete. Clint Didier was the intended receiver. Torrey Nixon on defense. Redskins owner Jack Kent Cook. Been a long afternoon for him, I'm sure.
Well, of course, he's had a lot of good afternoons here with this team. And of course, the last 4 years, the Redskins have been in the Super Bowl, 2 of them. In fact, these 2 teams, the last 4 years have been in the Super Bowl.
3rd and 10. Schrader flushed out of the pocket. Has to just throw it on the ground. Art Monk was the closest Redskin receiver. Ronnie Lott was a defender. Some of the other scores. San Diego in the 4th quarter leading Buffalo 40-7. Seattle 24-6 over Kansas City. Raiders 34-17 over Atlanta. All those in the 4th quarter. As is this one at 35-8 49ers. 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Schrader back to throw. Down the middle to Monk. Jeff Fuller was with him. Todd Shell also was part of the tackle.
Art Monk is still down there, Pat, on the sideline. He took quite a hit here. He's going to come up the field, then come over towards us here. Come over in the end. There's Fuller there. He's in a zone. He picks him up right at the end. The ball goes out. Todd Shell is the guy that hits him from the front as Fuller's hanging on his back.
He is saying, I'm okay.
Nobody, but nobody makes a lettuce and tomato ham.
Kavanaugh just gives straight ahead. Checking around some final scores for the day. Minnesota with an incredible comeback beat Philadelphia 28-23. They were down 23-0. Cleveland beat the Giants by 2, 35-33. Denver over Pittsburgh 31-23. 45-27 Cincinnati over Houston. Green Bay shut out Tampa Bay 21-0. 38-31 New England over Indianapolis. And off again is Roger Craig. Craig inside the 40 to about the 38. Rich Malott tackled him. And that's a final that means an awful lot to the fans in San Francisco. 29-3 New Orleans upset the Rams. 49ers have left. The Rams next week. They finish against Dallas, and they have New Orleans in between.
I think that's one of the reasons that a Matt Kavanaugh is in here, because as you start getting ready for the playoffs, you want your backup quarterback to have some time. You hate to get him in the playoffs or the big game, and he hasn't been there in a long time.
Clock running at 5:29 left to play. Here's Wendell Tyler. He lunges close to a 49er first down before Dexter Manley trips him up. The Redskins, by the way, are out of timeout, so they can't stop the clock. And if the 49ers get a couple of first downs, they should be able to run it out. I'm sorry, they have 2 timeouts left. I was looking at the first half.
I'll tell you, I think Guy McIntyre there is making a little headway here against Dave Butts. You know, they started out and he was a 50-pound underdog. But maybe as you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you say, hey, I finally got this thing figured out. If I get my head in there and I get to him quickly and start my feet moving, I can get him going backward before he starts going into me.
This is where they said they wanted to run. I don't think Tyler made it. Dexter Manley closed down. And the Redskin offensive unit has started headed on the field.
Matt Cavanaugh is headed off, so he's the closest guy to it. He knew that they didn't get it. He just started walking off the field.
So with 4:50 left, the 49ers have total control of things.
That happens to him. You know, you need a spot in your roster, so you waive a special teams player to bring someone back, and then you get an open spot, so you bring him back, and that goes on. And I think Keating has been waived and brought back 3 times on this Redskin during this Redskin season.
Redskins have some new faces in the offensive line. McQuaid, McKenzie, Raleigh McKenzie, the rookie from Tennessee. Keith Griffin. Jeff Fuller stopped him. Wendell Tyler, who's had a bad knee, is putting some ice on that sore area.
Well, you know, that could be preventive. I think that sometimes when you have a bad knee, you want to get the ice on it as soon as you can. I'm sure Wendell Tyler isn't going to play anymore today, so they start the ice on it right now.
Michael Carter got a hand up to knock it away, number 95. George Rogers, by the way, has not played it down. Riggins started off, and he got dizzy, had to go to the locker room. There's George. As far as we know, he's healthy.
Well, he had some problems. You know, he hurt a shoulder, had a little banged up shoulder, but that wasn't going to keep him out of the game. I just think it was the type of game that there was no need for George Rogers today.
Clint Didier gets the first down on the pass from Schrader. Ronnie Lott put him down on the field. A gain of 9. The clock shows just over 4 minutes remaining now. The Redskins hurry up. Schrader chased and hit. Push. The ball is incomplete. Intended for Keith Griffin. It has indeed been a long day.
You know, it's been an interesting battle out there, even though for all intent and purposes the game's over. But Fred Dean and Joe Jacoby are really going out there in the pass rush. Let's see if we can just watch it here. Watch Jacoby 66 on Fred Dean. Dean's trying to get in there. Jacoby's so big, and he's such a good pass protector that Dean can't find a place to go around him.
He's so big he can't pull him and push like he does so many people.
All right, 2 All-Pros still going at it.
Here's Schrader. Gets it outside to Donnie Warren. Pass complete. Now there's a little freshening of temper. Torrey Nixon.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Torrey Nixon, of course, was drafted by the Redskins, was with them in training, so they were together in training camp. Torrey Nixon and Donnie Warren went to the same school, San Diego State. They got a lot of stuff going there.
On 3rd down. Schrader gets it to Didier. Didier is ridden down by Dwight Hicks. Another first down after a gain of 9. Two timeouts the Redskins still have remaining. Clock running just over 3 minutes. Schrader back. Fires intended for Monk, or in that direction. Incomplete. They'll bring up the 2nd down as Hicks and Wright were the cover men. 30 out of 57. The attempts, a new Redskins record. 348 yards, 1 interception. He's completed 30.
You notice how you get those type of records and those stats, you usually lose the game.
Right.
Because the way the Redskins win is with the rushing. You know, when they rush the ball, that's when they win the game. When they have to pass that many times, they usually are doing it because they're losing.
And when they get ahead early. Pass picked off by Ronnie Lott, and he just Kneels at the 25. Less than 3 minutes left to play now as the Redskin defensive unit comes back, and this does the 49er offense.
That was a zone defense. Ronnie Lott, I didn't see a receiver around there. I'm not sure what Schrader was doing unless he was just trying to throw it away. Watch him. He's looking at someone coming from the left. Oh, I see. He was looking at Didier coming from his left, and Ronnie Lott was right there in the middle. Lott said, this has been a long day. We've been through a lot. We don't need any more contact now. So he just took a knee.
Matt Cavanaugh. 5 turnovers now for the Redskins. Derek Harmon over the left side with Roger Craig, the other back still.
You see that mask that Keith Fahnhorst is wearing? Remember we were talking to someone and they said that they can see that every day or someday, it was Steve McMichael of the Bears.
Yeah.
We're saying that someday everyone's going to be wearing those things because they get so many fingers poked in the eye that's why it's just a shield that goes right over through the bar that protects their eyes.
Wonder how it would be on a rainy day. Cavanaugh outside. Dwight Clark hammered. 6-yard gain. Clark has been sort of quiet today. Possibilities. The Bears, of course, are in. Dallas with a 1-game lead over the Giants at 9-4. The Rams at that same number. And the 49ers will be 8-5 and tied with the Giants. Washington 7-6. And Detroit will be 7-6. They are 7-6.
You know, the teams that really made out today have to be the Dallas Cowboys, who take over the lead all by themselves, and the 49ers, who now control their own destiny.
Right. Hand off to Craig over the left side. 4 yards. Rich Malott. Next, after football is over and the NFL wrap-up show is over, 60 minutes, except on the West Coast where you'll see it's regular time. And then next Sunday, that's the lineup. Dallas, Cincinnati, Giants, Houston, Washington, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Kansas City, Detroit, New England, New Orleans, St. Louis, and Tampa Bay, Minnesota. Joe Gibbs. Second down. Less than a minute. Cavanaugh fires and stops the clock. Mike Wilson was the intended receiver. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Charles H. Milton, the third senior producer. Today's game directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate producer, Joan Vetrano. The rest of our crew. On a damp, cold, overcast day in the nation's capital. Third down. Cavanaugh just kneel. Lets the clock run. Be a happy flight back home. The NFL wrap-up show. Brent Musburger will have the highlights of the day and the scores. That comes up next. Bill Walsh and his 49ers, as John Madden just said, in a position now to control their destiny. For John Madden, Pat Summerall saying so long from RFK Stadium in Washington.
At that point.